Hey there, it's Brandon. Hope you're doing very well. I'm coming at you today again from my windowless but humble abode. Today I'm returning to my roots and speaking about law of attraction. I wanted to tell you a story that I've been carrying around for a long time. I haven't shared it on this channel before, but it was a defining moment in my life in regard to my practice of the law of attraction, of these spiritual practices that I've talked about on my channel for a long time now. And it's also a topic that I haven't really gotten into hardly at all on this channel, and it is in regard to relationships, into attracting love and relationships into your life. And the reason why I have kind of strayed away from this topic, or not strayed away, but just I haven't really touched the topic, is because many people, they want you to tell them what they want to hear, not necessarily what is more helpful for them in terms of relationships. Relationships in particular are a tough road to go down, especially when you're talking about the law of attraction. Many people want to attract a specific person into their life, or they want to attract back someone back into their life, like an ex-partner, for example. That's a big thing in law of attraction. The issue with attracting a specific person in your life is that you are seeing a very narrow perspective of what is going to be the best outcome for you. You're not seeing the expansive long-term outcomes in your life that the universe sees. So you may think that you are going to be extremely happy with somebody forever and ever, but in reality, that may not be the vibrational match where you are in your life right now, the two together. But the story that I'm going to convey to you in just a minute is about me kind of manifesting a specific person into my life, and I'll sort of explain what I mean by that. And it was very successful to a certain point, but it also came with a learning lesson that I have really been able to apply to many aspects of my life, not just in terms of relationships, but also in terms of any aspect. Every single aspect of my day-to-day life, I've been able to apply this knowledge that I gained from this experience. So just like anyone else, I used to really just strongly desire a relationship, a romantic relationship, based upon what I would see in movies and TV and around me, the people around me. And I really wanted that for myself because everyone else has it, and it's a completely normal thing. You know, everybody really wants that at some point in their life. Around the same time, I was practicing and studying actively law of attraction and applying these principles into my life. And I thought to myself, I might as well go ahead and apply it to the realm of relationships and to the realm of love, and trying to attract myself a partner. And so one evening, and this was like the day before the first day of school, I was almost in like a desperate state. I really wanted to finally experience what it's like to be in a relationship, because I didn't know how. I felt like it was so out of reach for me. I felt like I would never experience it, and that it would just not be a thing for me. And I kind of almost accepted that. I thought something was wrong with me, and all those negative things that you attribute to yourself when you haven't experienced something, I was taking those on. And so the night before the first day of school, I was sitting in my garden, and I was like growing okra at the time. That's like all my stories on this vlog, or on this channel, is like me talking about how I was growing okra. But I had just watched a episode of Goosebumps from the 90s. This didn't happen in the 90s, obviously. This happened recently. But it was like a rerun from Goosebumps from the 90s. I've never seen it before, and there was this actor that I thought was really cute, and I looked the actor up and I found their name, and the name was like Sean something. I can't remember his last name, but it was like Sean, S-E-A-N, spelled Sean. And I thought, I want to manifest someone like that, someone that looks like Sean. And so I sat in my garden that night, and I was feeling really desperate. Like I really felt like I was not going to experience a relationship, right? Like what I just said. And I was sitting there, and I was just like communing with nature and communing with the universe. And I looked up into the sky, and I kind of like, I said something, I can't remember. I remember within what I said, bring to me someone like Sean. And I just like put up my arms and I imagined my intention just sort of like coming out of my body in energy. It sounds really weird, but that's what I imagined. And so I imagined it coming out and just like going out into the sky, out into the universe, and you know, just my intention of bringing someone to me that was like Sean, like this actor that I saw in this Goosebumps episode from the 90s. And so I was basically trying to attract someone, a specific person, in regard to their looks, their mannerisms, etc. I wasn't very specific. I didn't say anything about their personality, about whether or not they would reciprocate my my romantic feelings. And so, you know, I wasn't specific at all. I just asked the universe to bring to me someone like Sean. This was the night before the first day of school, and the next day I went to, my first class was a chemistry class. This class I was having really difficult time getting into because I wanted to have it like first thing in the morning, and there was just, apparently there was no, my school just couldn't work with my, like the schedule that I wanted, and I just couldn't get into it for some reason. But then like right before school started, that day before school started, I magically got notified that I was put into that chemistry class that I, you know, I wasn't hopeful that I was going to be put into it, but I was. And I was also kind of manifesting that at the same time too. I was intentionally asking the universe to put me in that chemistry class. So I was asking for a lot of things actually that day before school. But yeah, I went to the chemistry class and it was locked. The teacher hadn't gotten there yet. So I was just waiting inside because it was early in the morning. It was like, I think like maybe 8 o'clock in the morning. And yeah, I was sitting there, and then this girl came and sat down like on the floor in the hallway. I was sitting at like a desk that was just in the hallway by the door, and then this guy came in and I thought he was cute, and I was like, oh wow. And yeah, so he came and sat down, and he looked at me and I looked at him, and then he looked at his phone and I looked at my phone, but then I looked at him again. Yeah, so it was just a whole weird thing. And then we were let into class, and a few days went by just going like into the class, like going to chemistry and just doing the chemistry thing. We hadn't started like our lab yet. We were just doing like classroom based paper learning stuff. I don't know. I don't remember anything from chemistry hardly, except for like naming organic compounds and things like that. I kind of remember that. But anyway, yeah, he sat like right in front of me to the side. So like I was in the row next to the windows and he was in the row in the middle, and he was like in front at the front of the class. And I was sitting with my lab partners, he was sitting with his lab partners. And one day, this is where like my weird stalkerish, I guess, type personality comes out, because one day we were turning in, I think, our homework. It was like paper-based homework that we were turning in. And I came up behind him and turned my paper in like on top of his. And I wanted to know what his name was because I wanted to like look him up and see like if he was actually like a potential person that I could date, if you know what I mean. And so I went and put my paper down, and I saw his name was Sean, spelled S-E-A-N. So I put my paper down on top of his, and I just sort of like casually looked at it, and I saw that his name was Sean, spelled S-E-A-N. Just like the actor, just like what I put out to the universe the night before school, the night before I got into that class that I had no hope of getting into. And I just thought that was interesting. And so I looked him up. This is where my stalkerish personality comes into play. But I looked him up and I found his Facebook, and I actually saw that we had a mutual friend in common on Facebook, and that mutual friend was gay. And so I thought to myself, there's a possibility. And so I just like looked at a couple of posts, and just like a couple of posts on his Facebook indicated that he was in fact, this Sean person was in fact available and gay as well. So I thought to myself, okay, well, this is actually a possibility. And so it gave me a little bit more confidence. It gave me confidence knowing that this guy's name was Sean, first of all, and that I just put that intention out for the universe to bring to me someone like Sean, i.e. someone's name who was Sean, and also that he was gay. So it gave me more confidence. And eventually, like, we we were able to like somehow start talking. Like his lab partners and my lab partner we worked together kind of closely in the lab, and so we started talking. And one day, like I don't even know, like I was walking with him to his car. It was really weird. I don't know how this happened, but yeah, I asked him for his number, and we like texted occasionally off and on. And I asked him out, and yeah, and so that was, I've never actually done that before, especially someone who's never been in a relationship before. Like, I was pretty brave, but I was sort of bolstered by the confidence I got from just knowing, like, just thinking, this is actually really crazy and really cool that all of these things lined up for me to get to this point. So, you know, that was a manifestation in and of itself. So it didn't, if the relationship didn't even work out, wow. If the relationship didn't even work out, like just manifesting that was just, you know, an achievement of itself. I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, I asked him out, and when the day came, we were gonna go on a date, I was extremely eager and like really like fearful and like, oh my gosh, are we gonna do it? And then it turned out it didn't materialize at all. He didn't like come through or anything like that. So it was extremely hard for me because I had put myself out there to such a degree that I was kind of devastated, really. I mean, I was really, I don't know, it was really hurtful to me that it just didn't work out the way I intended it to. But a lot of times that's just life basically. And you can't really control other people or predict what other people are going to do. So yeah, anyway, yeah, I'm over that, thankfully. But the thing is, when I sort of calmed down and did a reassessment of what happened and what took place, I learned a few things. So number one, when I put that intention out into the universe that night before the first day of school, all I said and all I was feeling, all I said was for the universe to bring to me someone like Sean. And the universe brought someone to me who was like Sean, but in name only. Because again, I wasn't specific about what I wanted in this person. I wasn't specific about the personality that I wanted, the kindness, the reciprocation, the you know, all the things that you would want in a relationship. I wasn't specific, and I was only specific about the name. And the universe just delivered to me exactly what I put out. And also, I told you earlier that I was feeling desperate. So not only did I just put out a specific name into the universe and I got back exactly what I put out, the universe is a reflection. So whatever you put out intentionally, as well as unintentionally, whatever you put out, and it's going to be reflected back to you no matter what, eventually. But I put it out with such desperation, feeling desperate, not feeling love, not feeling comfort, not feeling security, not feeling all the things that you would want from a relationship. I was putting out desperation, and what I got back was more desperation magnified. This was a successful, an extremely successful manifestation, and I learned that in order to manifest exactly what you want, you have to be specific about exactly what you want. Every single aspect, the emotional qualities of it that you want to feel when you have it, the things that are going to happen around you, the things that are going to happen in your life. Are you going to move in with this person? Are you going to have children and get married eventually? Or, you know, and just feeling those things and seeing yourself happy and like you know, being with the other person and their family on holidays and things like that. And just and knowing that you want someone who's dependable, who's kind, who's faithful, and, you know, reciprocates all the things that you're giving out to them. You know, those are the things that you want to be specific about, not the name, not even the looks. I mean, you can definitely manifest someone with the looks that you want, but really it gets down to, is this person a good person, and are we going to be a good vibrational match with where we are together? And so those are the things that you want to think about. And you also want to be thinking about, when you're trying to manifest a relationship and when you're trying to manifest someone into your life and love into your life, you want to be from an emotional place of already being in that relationship. So you don't want to be desperate, you don't want to be angry, you don't want to be sad or depressed, because when you put that out there, you're just going to get that back into your life, imbued, I think that's the right word, or infused into your relationship. So you want to find a way to meditate, to do things that you enjoy, to get yourself into a positive, secure, stable, loving, purely loving and grateful emotional state before you actually, and while you put out that intention into the universe. Let's see, what else did I miss anything else? Yeah, I feel like those are the things that I learned that were extremely important and that I was able to apply to every other sort of manifestation that I do in my everyday life, even just my thoughts and just checking in with myself every day about how I'm feeling. I don't want to feel, I mean, we're all human. We're going to feel angry sometimes. We might feel desperate or sad sometimes. But when you become more aware of those feelings, you start to check in with yourself more frequently, and you start to try to find ways to pivot and reposition yourself into a higher vibrational state. And that's what's really important, especially when you're trying to bring, well, anything into your life, but especially a relationship, someone that you want to spend your life with. You want to be from a place of love and gratitude and joy already, even before you have it, because the feelings are the most important than anything, even more important than your words, because your words guides your feelings, and your feelings can guide your words as well. But your feelings are what matters. This is the vibrational state that you want to achieve. You want to get into the things that you're going to feel when you have it. And then that's when you push it out and you allow it to flow into the universe. So I hope this story has been helpful. I hope you learned something from my story. Even though the outcome wasn't like positive or happy for me, it ultimately led me to a more positive, happier life, because I learned so much from it. Even if you manifest, even if like one day you manifest something that doesn't have exactly a happy outcome, it's going to contribute to the positivity of your life overall. And when you can look at it that way, you start to feel better, and then you start to manifest better things into your life. And so just know that wherever you are right now, you're learning a lot from it, even if you can't consciously understand it or see it or, tangibly understand, feel it or whatever. Just know that it's contributing to your life overall, and it's going to get you to a better place. So you just have to trust that process of unfolding. So again, I hope this has been helpful. I have talked a lot. I was really energetic, but this was definitely a really powerful story for me, and I hope it was powerful for you as well. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. Go ahead and subscribe to more videos if you want to see more law of attractions or spirituality videos, or skincare videos, because I'm doing a lot more of those on this channel as well. Okay, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.